right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
All right, beautiful people, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street as we present you guys our feature presentation, Black Woman Wednesday. Man, I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator. Certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, the Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, Study of Black Wealth, is a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. You can find our book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. We've got about 9 of these books just left. The last 9, the final 9. No more print on these at all. You start going to your ebooks as we prepare for book number 2. So also, while you're there at the website, go to the store. In the store, you're going to find some cool stuff, some other Black author books that are targeting your children and also your lifestyle as well. Financial literacy books, business books, development books, all written by Black folk, right? So you can also shop Black while you're there as well and support a Black author. We got books that introduce your kids to credit, to insurance, to investing, to business plans. We also have this book that might introduce you to this thing called taxes. We got somebody that wrote that book that'll be here with us here today. Check them out while you actually click on the store on that site. And also there's this place called Join the Club, where you can decide, right, to walk away from the crowd of broke, busted, and disgusted and get with other people who are serious about building wealth, building business, while they build themselves, most importantly, building themselves. And make a financial decision that can change your life forever by joining the Black Billionaires Club here today. But nonetheless, guys, we are here for one of my most precious shows. That's right, Black Woman Wednesday. As we're going, the whole goal of this show, as I said, is I made a commitment this year to connect my network to my network. I want to make sure we began to do right, raise the village, call me the glue for a reason. And so it's all about, if we say it's about the village, then the village needs to know the other people in the village. That's how I look at it. And so we understand now with the World Wide Web that we are only about 2 degrees of separation away from who we need to know. And so you're gonna get to know some dope. I just happen to be connected to some dope people. I mean, these phenomenal women here tonight. I mean, my goodness. I mean, I've just been watching them flourish over the years, and I just been back here. Go on, girl. Go on, girl. Show them your Black girl magic. Just go on, girl. That's exactly it, man. While you guys are connected, hit that like button and share button if you care. Like button and share button if you care. Also, tag a sister. Man, we're going to uplift that sister up tonight. Right? We're inspire that sister tonight. We're going to make sure that she knows that she got a whole village behind her as she continues to press forward towards her dreams, her goals, and her desires. And y'all know how we're going to start this thing off. Y'all going to let us know where you're connected from, what city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country, because the broadcast across the World Wide Web simply means we're global. And we know we got people all over the world looking to get some of this Black girl magic. We're going to start this thing off with, y'all know the poem, Still I Rise by Miss Maya Angelou. Let's get it. You may write me down in history with your bitter and twisted lies. You trap me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high. Still, I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed and heavy and low eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops weakened by my soulful cries. Does my heartiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard. Because I laugh like I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air. I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear. I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. So all my sisters that are out there here today, go and put in the console, I rise. That's right. You are rise. You are still here. You have risen. You rise each and every day to go and tackle this thing called the world and take care of house and home and work and all that good stuff as well. We honor you tonight, right? We uplift you tonight, and we are here to celebrate you, black woman. We're going to get right into this thing, beautiful people. Let's see who's checking us here today. That's right, man. Miss Jerri, right? That phenomenal sister showing up here today on the Black Woman Wednesday. Miss on her thing as well, showing up here today on Black Woman Wednesday. Miss Antoinette Ross is a boss, has joined us here tonight on Black Woman Wednesday. We got the tax specialist here, Miss Yvette. Besss is in the house. One of our guests here tonight, Miss Yvette Goodrich, has joined us here as well. Miss Chelsea McDowell is here as well. G joined us as well here tonight on Black Woman Wednesday, and this is my tribute to you. Let me go ahead and do it. I'm coming in. Black Woman Wednesday, that's what we do, man. So hey, we're gonna bring in our first guest, man. This sister here, I'll tell you, this has this spirit that says, I just want to help. I want to help you organize. I want to help you get your itch together. I'm not gonna tell you get your itch together, but I'll come in and help you get your itch together. This sister, always shows up. This sister has that kind of spirit that says, man, together we can do great things. And so I've been able to connect with her on some projects. She's been organizing these massive events, and I've been seeing her. I don't know how she juggles all this stuff. I mean, it's phenomenal. She's an author, she's a mother, she's a wife, and she'll say all the other stuff. I'm probably gonna be taking notes because I don't even know everything she do, because she do so much. She does it in excellence. She does it in excellence. Allow me to introduce you guys to one of my dear friends. Miss Jerri B is up in here. What's going on?
Hello. All is well. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Man, thanks so much for taking the time. Wednesday, such a joy. I love this show. I love to be able to connect all my sisters as well. And there's some people that maybe just be introducing themselves. They may just be knowing you here today, seeing this face, and who's this Jerri B. So if you could tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
All right. Well, I am Jerri B, the Creative Community Connector. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I have been residing in Atlanta, Georgia for over 25 years. Went to the Cobb County schools and graduated. So yeah, more Atlanta than I am St. Louis, but always will represent St. Louis as well. I am the owner and artist and designer of all things creative and art services. I am the owner and consultant of Right Start Administrative and Consulting Services, and I am the owner of Teamy Cafe. I'm an author, as Evan mentioned. I've authored and self-published 4 or 5 books. One was a collaboration with one of my sons, and another was a collaboration with 3 other awesome women called Balancing the Seasons of Life. So I am an author. And then I'm a caregiver to my dad. So I have become an advocate for family caregivers and daughterhood. So I'm connected with a lot of, starting to be connected in this journey of caregiving with a lot of different associations and organizations that help with family caregivers in just that season of life. So I'm a mother of 6. I think you mentioned that too. I have 3 boys, 3 girls. Only 2 left to finish school. Woo! But always trying to support them in their endeavors as well. So that is me in a nutshell.
Fantastic. Give me just a second, guys. I think we got a bad connection. Y'all know how it is. The enemy's always trying. Y'all supposed to be praying. We got supposed to lift it up. We take care of this thing going on. So I do think that we have a little bit of an unstable connection. So we're working to try to get that turned on the VPN. I think it's on my end as well. So I'm going to step out for a second to come back, and Jerri, I'll let you kind of lead the path. Basically, my next question for Ms. Jerri is just you've built, created all these different, let's call them multiple streams. You're building out of your creativity. You're an author. You do project management stuff. How to manage it all? How to manage it all? Mother, father, wife, multiple projects. How do you really manage?
Okay. All right. So, big question. And the easiest way to respond to that, first of all, managing looks different for everybody. Balance looks different for everybody. One of my first books was answering that question. So my first book that I self-published was Managing Multiple Children as a mom of 6. And I wrote it in response to always hearing that question as I've been raising my children of how do you do all you do and you have 6 kids? So that's exactly what that book was about, just kind of breaking it down of what worked for me and some of the helpful systems that I implemented to manage my crew and still not forget me in that journey. So I think it comes down to how do I manage? I don't try to do it all at one time. And so there are seasons, where Right Start Administrative is happening. I just know for me, touching all the pieces that make me up, who make me, works for me. That's not everybody's. That don't work for everybody, but it works for me. And so when I can be versatile and when I can exercise and use all of the gifts that God has put in me is when I feel fulfilled and I feel that I'm doing my due diligence for what I'm supposed to do here on earth and fully walking in my purpose. And so I use both left and right side of my brain. I have to, allow myself time to create. I have to allow myself time to, work on that logistics side. And then, of course, being a mother never ends. I'm learning that every day, having a 27-year-old and then my youngest is 14. Even as with my young adults, there are still times, and me having my parents, there are still times. Parenting does not end. So learning how to manage that in the different seasons as they get older and they transition and evolve into who they're becoming to be. All of that, we just have to be able to adjust in the seasons and just make sure that we are touching the pieces that fulfill us. And so for me, multitasking and having my hands and touching all the pieces that make me up is what works for me. And so self-care is a part of that as well. I try to make sure that either I'm walking 5 miles a day. I'm connected to women 40 and up double Dutch club. So we jump, 2 or 3 times a month. So I make sure that everything about me is rolling and has some momentum in it on a daily basis.
That's absolutely awesome there. I was going to mention that double Dutch. Did I see kickball too, or just double Dutch?
I grew up playing kickball. I can't mess with the leagues though. They a little too competitive. I like it for recreation, but the leagues, they serious about it.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this, Jerri. And again, I'm still trying to get this connection back, guys. So just bear with us. When do you feel like you really found your passion? Because I think a lot of people that seems to be like a real journey for them to really discover what they really want to do, what's really on the inside of them. When would you say you came across it and you accepted it? Like, this is what I love to do. This is who I am. And you just started going for it.
Okay. So me answering that question again may not fit everybody. My mother, the elders in my family always said that I had an old soul. I have friends who know me from high school who said I had an old soul. I was planning and working out logistics in high school. So for me, being able to reflect on your life and be able to see what is it that you've always enjoyed doing? What is it that you've always found yourself gravitating back to in your downtime and things of that nature? When you're asking that question, sometimes it's right there in front of you. But sometimes we think it has to be so big and so huge, and that's not the case all the time. Me being strong in administration, that's been since I was a child. I can't say it was something that I thought I would turn into a business. But when you realize that what you're offering to other people is worth them wanting to pay for it, and it comes to you naturally, but you realize that that ain't natural for everybody. You start to realize what your purpose is and where your gifts lie. And that's why, one of my key scriptures for business and life is, your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men and women. And for me, it's gifts is more than one. And in most of us, it's more than one. And sometimes some are stronger than the others. And there are times where it may be challenging or frustrating because, when we're dealing with other people and their opinions on things, you have to be able to stand in what you know is true for you. And so a lot of times it's just about reminding yourself and thinking back over your life and saying, what has it always been that I've gone back to that's made me smile, that's given me joy? What can I do if money was not involved? And a lot of times that's where our purpose lies.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you a little bit about some of your books, and while you're answering that, I'm going to try to reset this router.
Okay.
But I got up your Facebook, Instagram. Tell us a little bit about some of the literature that you've written. I think you're on like book number 16 or something like that.
Okay. So I started off. I think I shared that my first book was Managing Multiple Children from a Mom of 6. And from there, I went to Give Yourself Some Grace. And Give Yourself Some Grace is a reflective book. It's me kind of expressing different things that have occurred that had me doubting myself or shaming myself, and me kind of talking my way through that. And God as well, because I am a woman of faith. Where God would kind of guide me through and whisper to me, give yourself some grace. Like sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves, especially as Black women. And so that's what that book is about. And so Give Yourself Some Grace actually leaves lines in the pages for the reader to reflect on those moments that they've had in their lives where they've needed to, give themselves some grace. So that is what that book is about. And then there was the book that I wrote with my son, which was just a passion project altogether. 3 boys and 3 girls. My son at the time was 15, I believe. So right there in that age of transition and everything. And I could just tell as a mother that he had some things that he needed to get off his chest, and he really wasn't trying to talk about it. And when he did try to talk about it, it would become, it would be frustrating and, full of attitude and everything. So I knew that he had shown, gifts and interest in poetry. And so me being one who writes poetry as well, I offered and extended the opportunity for him to speak to me through poetry, and I would speak to him through poetry. And so Rhythms of a Mother and Son was the 3rd book, and it is a poetic dialogue between mother and son, real-time situations, where he is expressing whatever it is he has to express. And my only rule when we were writing that book is don't cuss. Do not use profanity, because I'm gonna shut it down. So that was the only rule. Everything else goes, say what you have to say. And the beautiful thing that came out of that project was that for me, being as a mother, to literally tell him, you can say whatever you want, but then to read what he had to say, and having to sit with it, and then having to prepare myself to respond poetically in a way that would respond to what he was saying, but also still encourage him to keep growing and, push past, those emotions and everything. So that was very much a passion project. Loved the book. And so that was the 3rd one, Rhythms of a Mother and Son. Then there was a collaboration with 3 powerful women that I am business partners with. So not only do I have my 3 LLCs, but I'm also a managing member of 2 other LLCs. One is Vision Planners International, and then Cardinal USA Properties. And so with the Vision Planners, we wrote a book together, the 4 of us, called Balancing the Seasons of Life. And so we are all different ages. We have different dynamics when it comes to our family and our life. And so we all spoke from the different aspects that we could, really share in our life journey and what balance looked like in our life. And so again, it looks different for everyone, but that was a beautiful project. We were able to travel and do some book signings and everything. And again, we're all women of faith. And so every time we did book signings in these different locations, these different cities, it always wound up where we are up from behind the table, touching women, hugging women, crying with them, and just really encouraging women, to find their balance and, realize that you matter. Sometimes we get so caught up doing for everybody else that we lose our value and our worth in ourselves. And so just being able to go out and travel with these powerful women and encouraged through this book, Balancing the Seasons of Life. And then my fifth one is A Life for a Life, a caregiver's journey. I have been a caregiver to my father, full-time caregiver to my father now going on 3 years or 4. It's all a blur. But so in starting that journey and learning on the job what he needed and how to take care of him as a creative, the journey itself became my muse, and I started capturing moments that really resonated for me. And so I first launched a series of art called A Life for a Life that really captured a lot of the imagery that was happening between me and my dad during his health and the hospital visits and all of that. And so from the art launch and the series that I did, it prompted questions, of course, and people really wanted to know the story behind each image. And so that's where the book came, where I was able to kind of share my inspiration behind each image, and just, some pieces, prompted me to write poetry, and some were just, inserts and journal entries almost about that moment, whether it was an image of me praying over his bedside or me holding his hand, just silently saying I'm here. And so things like that, the images really speak on their own, but being able to expound and give some backstory on what inspired me or what prompted me as a creative to even capture that moment, the book allows me to do that. So that fifth one is A Life for a Life, a caregiver's journey. And so over these, I self-published the first book in 2016, and it's been a beautiful thing over these 5 years to be able to not only host book signings and sit and represent my own book, but it began a process of me hosting writing groups and helping others to write their books and launch their books. And so that's been a beautiful thing as well. And through Right Start, I'm still, doing that as well. I just literally finished working with an elder. She is in her 70s, been wanting to write a book for over 15 years. And so we've been working together about 4 months to get her book formatted, and we uploaded 2 days ago. So those moments are fulfilling to me. So Evan, you were right on it when you say, I have a passion to want to help and want to connect people to their purpose. So that's a beautiful thing.
Man, absolutely, guys. You see how I also want to just point out, man, you're doing a beautiful thing. How when things happen, you just simply have to be ready to adjust. You see, boom, right there, boom. Okay, Jerri, take care of this. Let me handle this. You see how we just boom, just made it just seamless, right? They're never caught off guard. Just stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, boy. Hey, come on if you want to. I tell you. So absolutely beautiful, man. Let me ask you this, because we're talking about adjusting. We're just coming through the year of the pandemic, or is still dealing with it as well. But how was 2020 for you, and what was a life lesson that you took away from your experience in 2020?
2020 for me, first of all, I'll say this: 2020 for me confirmed that I'm on this earth to heal. My children and other people that I am connected to understood where I stand when it comes to holistic healing and things of that nature, as far as just reaching out to me, asking what can I take to build my immune system and things like that. So 2020 was a challenge as far as me having so such a busy household, and people going in and out, and trying to keep my father safe in the midst of all of it, with him being 68, just turned 69. So I think that was the biggest challenge, just getting our young adults to understand, you may be healthy, you may feel well, but you don't want to, risk bringing something in and impacting, someone whose health is compromised. And so that was a constant conversation last year. But we all made it. We all made it through. And I think my children were able to see how, for one thing, home will always be available. We had one of our young adults have to come back home from college because of the pandemic, and another young adult had to come back to the house. And so where we had 4 out, we wound up having 2 back in. And so we went through a lot of household transitions and dynamics last year, in the midst of the pandemic. And so trying to keep everybody motivated. I just realized that being a caregiver just has me in a different space of making sure that I have capacity left to still take care of my dad. I am very careful. I'm more careful now to engage myself only to a certain point, because when everybody else gets to go home, when my kids just get to go to sleep, I still have to tend to my father. And so that was one big thing that I noticed last year, with everyone, trying to pull at me, and their anxieties are up because of the pandemic. I can do what I can do, but you can't have all of me because I still have someone who is dependent on me having energy, positive healing energy for them as well. And there's no one else to do that for him. So that was probably the biggest thing for me last year, is just making sure that I stayed aware of my capacity and did not give all of myself to everybody else.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, that heart, that spirit, man. I'm sensing a little Angelo in you too. That old soul. I hear you. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Jerri B. As we get towards our mid-break point here, I'll ask you two more questions, then we'll take a break. Coming through 2020, now we're in 2021. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, goodness. It's already started. I am looking forward to securing a location for Teamy Cafe. That LLC, that vision has been manifesting since 2017. I've had to put it on the back burner because I became a caregiver and my dad's health declined. And then we had the quarantine and everything last year. So I am pushing that baby out this year. And I'm just excited. I'm already working with real estate agents to look at facilities. And, it's crazy because so many businesses didn't make it through the pandemic last year that there's a plethora of commercial property to shop through. And so I'm just excited, because people are catching the vision. Everyone that I talk to about Teamy Cafe, they're just as excited as I am to see it happen. And so that's where I am this year. Teamy Cafe has been in the birth canal way too long. And so that's the birthing for this year.
Absolutely, man. Well, definitely let us know how we can support and help bring that to pass for you. And here's my last thing. Of course, we're here on Black Woman Wednesday. It's an opportunity for you to uplift, encourage, and inspire the Black woman. What do you have to say to the Black woman in 2021 here today on our broadcast?
Well, I think the biggest thing, I am 43, about to be 44 in April. I have, again, a mother of 6, married for over 20 years. And some would say that maybe my life went opposite of what others have gone. So what I say to Black women is never stop moving forward in your purpose. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget what you set out to do, in high school or whatever life goals you set for yourself. It's never too late. Make sure that you're always touching those pieces that make you smile, that spark your joy, and understand that while you're encouraging everybody else, while others are depending on you, you have to have something for yourself. You have to have something that at the end of the day, when no one else is around, you still have something to smile about. you still remember your name and what your purpose is on this earth. That's not connected to anyone else but what God gave you to do. And so always make sure that you are moving forward in your gifts. Do something that sparks your joy if you can't do it daily, do it weekly. Just don't forget about you.
Everybody put in the comments, so all of our sisters that are still joining us here live today, put in the comments below, I won't forget about me. I won't forget about me. This is for all the sisters. Again, all the sisters that join us here live across Facebook and YouTube. Go and put in the comments, so I will not forget about me. You are important. Absolutely. If you guys are wondering where you can follow Miss Jerri B again, Facebook, Instagram, at @DJerriB there. And she also has a link tree. You get connected to probably all of her books and all that stuff. What's that, the link tree?
Yeah, everything you just said. I have a e-newsletter, the books. Oh goodness, what else is on there? My e-card, as far as being able to reach me, and the caregiver blog. I have a caregiver blog as well.
Absolutely, that's right, man. I won't forget about me. That's right, Miss McDowell. You are important, Miss Reed. You're important. All right, don't forget about you now, helping everybody else. That's right, spreading them arms wide, Miss Foster. Don't forget about you. That's right, Miss Goodridge. You matter. Don't forget about you now, Miss Nutri. Yeah, that's right, man. Put you in check today. Don't forget about you, Miss Gilliard. You know what it is, right? You important. You matter, Miss Glenda Tate Woods. Hey, we still need you. Don't forget about you now, right, Miss Owens? Don't forget about you. This is Black Woman Wednesday here, brought to you by the New Black Wall Street. We'll be right back after the break.
Oh, yeah.
All right, shout out to our sponsor, me. That's right. Oh, y'all. This brother got his own commercial. Yeah, I do, man. The Black Bazaar, man. You know what we do here. Afro-centric home decor, personal care products, also Black art-inspired gifts here at The Black Bazaar. Check us out at www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. I want you guys to remember this, that once you shop Black, you never go back. You know what it is? Here on Black Woman Wednesday, man, it started out, man, the first half of the show was popping. I mean, the first half of the show was popping, but we still got another half. That's right, we got another half. We got another super scintillating sister that's going to be joining us here today. This woman here, I mean, she's the best. I mean, she literally is the best. I mean, she is the best, not the best, the best. I mean, she's Yvette, the best. That's right, man. She is a tax professional. She is an author. She's a mother. She's a wife. She is absolutely phenomenal. She's my dear friend. Always, help me keep, gonna be helping me keep my stuff together, right? Can't be in business and have your stuff out of order. So she is the best. What I do know about this woman, she is very serious about what she does. She's always letting people know that, hey, I leveled up. I'm taking it to another level. I got the next certificate. I'm learning all that I can. Here's what I want you guys to take away from Miss Besss. Learn all that you can and earn all that you can and return all that you can. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I think I just got their ear. Learn all that you can. Earn all that you can. And return all that you can. Allow me to introduce you guys to Miss Yvette D. Besss, EA. I guess it stands for something. She'll tell us what it stands for. Very good to the show here on Black Woman Wednesday. What's going on, Queen?
Hello, how are you? Just have me cracking up back here. I just want to let you know you was totally hilarious. but so serious. So yes, hey everybody, how are you? I just had posted that I was on fire today because I was talking about taxes earlier this morning at about 12 o'clock. Now I'm ending the day talking about taxes, and well, it's tax season, so I should be talking about taxes, and I'm happy to be here.
Man, thanks so much for joining us, Miss Besss. There's people who are just now being introduced to the best of the world. If you could tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Awesome. Well, again, my name is Yvette the Best, but my last name Best is also an acronym. It stands for I better every situation tenfold, because that's just what I do. I have been in the accounting field since 1989. I am the author of 4 books, international bestseller. I am an IRS enrolled agent. I have my MBA from Belhaven University. Being an enrolled agent, because most people do not know what it is a federal license that's given to you by the IRS. You take a 3-part exam to get the license, and basically the license gives you unlimited practice rights in front of the IRS. So most of the time when you see my signature, it will say admitted to practice in front of the IRS. What does that mean? I make sure that taxpayers are, 1, only paying their fair share of taxes, and they are staying IRS and state compliant, and they not having problems with the IRS. And if they happen to have problems with the IRS, I am helping them prepare their taxes so they could get compliant, making sure that they stay compliant by abiding by the rules. And then if they also have any other troubles, I'm representing them in front of the IRS so they do not have to go to the IRS. Because what you don't want to do is try to represent yourself. Think of it as the same if you had a legal issue. If you had a problem with the law, you get a lawyer. If you have a problem with taxes, you get an enrolled agent.
Man, oh man, I told y'all she's serious about that thing, enrolled agent. And yeah, I mean, there probably a lot of questions going to come up here because obviously it's tax season, and I really wanted to bring you on just to kind of share this journey that you've been on to get to this position. Now, you said since 1989, I heard accountant, and then I hear tax professional. And what are some of the differences with all these different words that we hear? And it just seemed like, let me just be honest. It just seemed like whenever this time roll around, we got somebody that was doing that was on a poll last night. Now they're doing taxes the day after. I'm just trying to figure out, like,
I'm not fooling around with you today.
Okay. I'm just saying. What's these different words?
Okay, so let me give you the breakdown. You have tax professionals, tax preparers is the word, because actually tax preparers is what we do. We prepare taxes. So that doesn't matter if you are a CPA who actually takes a state exam, 4 parts, and get the license in their state to be a certified public accountant, or again, like a EA who takes the federal exam, which is a 3-part exam to become an enrolled agent. Or they, again, like an attorney who goes to law school and passes the bar. And all 3 of those categories are what the IRS call credentialed experts. We are the 3 set of people who have unlimited practice rights in front of the IRS. So what does that mean? Is that group of people you would want, because again, those are the people who can actually represent your taxes. Now, where does the problem lie? Some CPAs don't like taxes. Some of them don't keep up with tax laws. Some EAs do the same thing too. Some attorneys do the same thing too. So one time you might want to take and look into people's credentials. That's the main thing. Somebody tells you they're a certified tax preparer. What is that? What does that mean? What type of certification can I check up your name on the IRS database? Because even if you're not a credentialed expert, you can be part of the annual filing season program. Now, that's a program that's given by the IRS. You take about 18 hours of continuing education credit, and you take an exam, and then you get listed on the IRS directory of credentialed tax preparers. And that's huge, because you want to be, even the people that's part of the annual filing season program can have limited rights to represent you in front of the IRS. And of course, I always talk about representation because that's key. It's okay for them to prepare your taxes, but if there's a problem or you get a letter from the IRS, representation is what you really want. The preparing of the taxes is minimum. There's people out here that have regular returns. They're using TurboTax and all other type of DIY software. The power is in the representation. So that's the difference between the credentials. Either a certified public accountant, an enrolled agent, or an attorney is the only 3 categories of tax preparers that can represent you in front of the IRS with unlimited practice rights, and attorneys can take you all the way to tax court, unless you are an EA or a CPA who takes an exam called the United States Tax Court Practitioner exam, and then we become non-attorneys that practice in tax court. So that's really the difference. You'll hear certified tax preparer. Some of the ones I'll be seeing. That's the main one I be seeing is certified tax preparer. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. But the main thing you want to do is check credentials, see if they got mugshots, if they listed on BBB for having bad service. If they tell you they're a CPA, then look on CPA Verify and verify their credentials. If they tell you that they're an enrolled agent or they're part of the annual filing season program, ask to see their certificate and then look it up online, because all of this stuff, and if all else fails, just Google their name and see what comes up, because you'll be surprised how some tax preparers have mugshots on the internet, and that might not be who you want to share your personal information with.
Man, oh man! So it's deep. It's deep. It's deeper than we thought. Let me ask you this, Miss Besss, because I'm hearing a lot there. Is there, this is? It sounds like this is something that you do all year long, but I know tax season. So what comes in behind tax season that keeps you busy, keeps the business going, and all that stuff? What are some other things that you might help people with as it relates to this area, your specialty?
Okay, so again, I am a tax accountant, and that's all that I do all year long. I am not your tax professional who's trying to sell you real estate, insurance, your mortgage broker, travel, waist trainers on the weekend. I'm not doing any of that. I'm really big on helping business owners stay in alignment with their business. So why do I think that's important? Because I think it's important to your brand. When you are doing one thing and that person consistently sees you doing that one thing, you get people to know, like, and trust you. So again, with my business, I offer like 11 services, but it's all in alignment with taxes. So yeah, I do individual tax returns, business returns, I amend returns. I help people who have unfiled back taxes. I also help people who have tax debt or problems with the IRS. I also represent tax professionals who have problems with the IRS. And then for businesses, I help them set up their right business structure by having the right business formation, making sure that they get business credit, making sure that they have business advisory and strategy sessions to help them improve and grow their business. I help them formulate business plans to submit to the SBA to get SBA loans, especially when it's high about having functions. And I also help them create financial documents such as the ones that you needed to get PPP and SBA loans. So this is what I do all year long. So when people think of tax season is January to April, that's the time where we're basically preparing returns. But when that time is over, from April to the end of the year, I'm counseling a lot of people in their businesses. I'm having quarterly reviews because I meet with business clients April, July, September, and December to make sure that they have their profit and loss statements, that they're reviewing them. And the one thing I like to say to all business owners, that your bookkeeper and your accountant should be 2 different people for internal controls. I know a lot of accountants will tell you, hey, I can do your books and your taxes. But in reality, you should have that as 2 separate people. If you don't take anything away from this call tonight, get your bookkeeper and your accountant on 2 different. You never have all your stuff in one person's hands. It's not a good thing.
And some of y'all get a bookkeeper and get an account. My goodness, oh my goodness, man. So oh my goodness. See, I told y'all I'm connected to some dope people, and I just want to make sure that y'all know that y'all are connected too, because we're connecting networks to networks here tonight. Now, Miss Besss, my goodness, you wrote 4 books. You said what are the books that you wrote?
So the first one was Maximizing Your Tax Refund.
I
It was
remember that
done.
book.
Yes, yeah. You know that book. Everybody know, if everybody know Evan, they know this book. They know this book through Evan. I thank you for that, because you, like I said, that's how we first connected, and you felt that the book was of value and people needed to have it, and you really did a lot to help market that book. So I appreciate you for that. But that was the first book. It was published by Black Card Books. And then after that, I took everything that I learned from my publisher, and then I self-published 3 more books behind that. And it's so funny that it was around the time that Cardi B came out with Bodak Yellow, and the line says, I dropped 3 mixtapes in 6 months. I had dropped 3 books in 6 months. And I was just like, this song was like the anthem all during that time. But then this second book I published was The Benefits of Becoming an LLC, because someone came to the office and told me they paid somebody $1,250 to set up an LLC. And I was spirited behind that. So I wrote the book. Basically, the book teaches you how to set up an LLC in the state of Georgia. And I put it straight to Amazon. Then I wrote a book called Mastering Your Small Business Taxes, because Maximizing Your Tax Refund talked a little bit mostly about home-based businesses, but I wanted people who are actually having a business that had a brick and mortar and had payroll could actually win on their business taxes. And then the last one was owe the IRS, because then we knew a lot of people were owing the IRS, and I wanted them to be able to know what was their options, that they could have an offer in compromise, that they could have a partial payment agreement. It could be non-collectible depending on the situation, and the fact that if they was affected by a spouse, they had the right to ask for innocent spouse relief, because that's huge. Because we have like a case that I'm working on right now. I have an innocent spouse who was left with a large amount of debt, and the spouse passed away, but now they're trying to make her liable for the debt, and I'm going to get rid of it. I'm just waiting to get this letter that is probably going to be really huge, because the amount is like way over into 6 figures.
Wow. You're doing big things. I tell you, Ms. Besss, I just watching you over the years, man, I can really say, man, top notch professional. Like, if you don't have a tax person, you know what I mean? I don't think it. Now, let me ask you: is this like a licensing thing? You can only do business in Georgia. How does that work for you?
Oh, because I'm an enrolled agent and it's a federal license, I'm licensed to represent tax professionals and taxpayers in all 50 states. That was huge for me, because when I got my MBA, it was firstly my intention to become a CPA. That was my first intention. But then I learned more about the enrolled agent license, and taxation is, if it was $1, if accounting is a whole dollar, taxation is like a dime of that accounting part. And I deal mostly with taxation. So becoming an enrolled agent made more sense, because I already had clients at that time in about 30 states. Now I have clients in about 42 states. How can I fully be able to represent them? Because being a CPA, I'm a CPA in Georgia. That means I have to get reciprocal agreement to all the other states that I needed to represent my clients. But the enrolled agent gave me a federal license that knocked all.
All right. Got a little bit of a delay, guys. She's coming back.
Okay.
She's almost back. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it froze up on you.
Okay. I mean, well, I was at a stopping point already at that time. I think when we had the froze, it was anything that we missed.
No. You said that basically that the EA, it basically broke down all your national barriers.
Yes, that is a federal license that federally gives you a license to represent tax professionals, as well as people that are taxpayers in all 50 states.
Wow, absolutely phenomenal. Kudos to you, man. Just going through the process, and making the adjustments as you move on. Like, I've just been watching. I'm just super proud, man. I'm just proud to be connected to such phenomenal people that we've seen each other grow in our own space over this time, however long it's been. Jerri B, you. I mean, it's just Wow, man, we've been doing that dang on thing. We've been doing that dang on thing. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing it. Man, how was 2020 for you? Because I imagine, I mean, the calls you got about PPP loans and all that stuff. How was the year of the pandemic for you? And what was a life lesson that you took away from 2020?
The PPP and that stimulus, oof, it was hard. But I mentioned I was on a talk on Clubhouse, and I had mentioned that 2020 was really good to me. Really, like I said that I made more revenue in 2020 than 2017, 18, and 19 combined. And that was huge. And a lot of it came from the fact that I had said people were emotionally unrecovered from 2018. There was thousands of people out there who did not do their 2018 tax returns because when they did them, they owed because of the new tax laws. When the stimulus came out, it was huge because everybody wanted to file their 2018 to get the stimulus payment. When they shut Atlanta down from that was from March 13th to the end of April in Fayetteville, Georgia, we were probably one of the only accounting offices that was open and functional during that time because people were still coming out to get their taxes done. They didn't care. So we were in there masked up, gloved up, doing taxes, getting them out. And then the next thing that happened was I made the shift that when I got my license, because I got my enroll agent license during the pandemic, I started doing representation. And then that was huge because, if Optima Tax Relief, they do representation, how much you're usually paying them and how much a retainer is to usually have someone represent you. And then that just took another life into the business with doing representation and helping people get right with the IRS and getting rid of all of this IRS debt. So basically their sleeps could be full of rest and not full of worry, because that's the main thing that was going on, because not only was they owing the IRS and then they wasn't filing taxes too. So you had two things going on, and a lot of people from this stimulus payments, enforcement is going to be high for the next couple of years because I just really know they're trying to recoup all the money they gave out through these stimulus payments, and still ongoing because we still might get another $1,400. This is just the time that if you are a person who has unfiled returns, just get right with the IRS. As far as 2020 for me, it was great. I did extremely well. And because I was blessed in a lot of different things. Like we were doing 2016 tax returns for free, so people wouldn't miss out on refunds. My son goes to Liberty Tech Charter School here in Brooks, Georgia. My husband and I got together and we paid off the lunch balances for that school so that when the parents came back, they already had to worry about if they was going to be able to bring their kids to school or what they was going to have to do. I just didn't want them to have the lunch balances also being part of the equation, because a lot of people were not working or they were home working, and some of them just wasn't working at all, getting a lot of unemployment. So we took that off of them. But the main thing I took away from 2020 was that please, if you are blessed, be a blessing. If you need help, then ask for it and you probably will get it.
Hey, you're blessed, be a blessing. I take that. Absolutely, man. Oh my goodness, this is just phenomenal. Oh my goodness, phenomenal. I got one more question for you, then we'll bring Jerri B back to begin to close out our show. This is Black Woman Wednesday. It's an opportunity for us to encourage, inspire, uplift the Black woman as you think about the year that we're in, 2021 and beyond. What are your words for the Black woman here tonight?
Oh, take care of yourself first. Okay, so this is for women who are in business. Well, Black women in general, but especially Black women that are in business. Right now, we are booming. I mean, almost every other business that's being started is being started by a Black woman. We are natural caregivers. We take care of everyone else, and we usually do not take care of ourselves. And then we take those same attitudes into business. And I don't want you to be that way in business. I always want you to know what you are worth, charge what you are worth, get paid what you are worth, and pay yourself first. And when I say pay yourself first, I mean exactly that. You're going to pay yourself first. You're going to pay the people that you owe, because that is how your business blessings are going to flow. Now, some people may disagree because they said when you start in business and you have employees and you have a team, you may have to go without to pay your team. But I don't think so. This is why you're going to build your business reserves. If you have business reserves, you might have to take your profits to pay your team, but you have a business reserve for you to eat. If you look at any CEO of any company, of anywhere, CEOs is not going without. So I don't want you to go without for sake of anyone else. I do not want you to give your whole team the Longhorn special while you're over at Applebee's after 10 p.m. eating their half price apps. Don't do that to yourself. If anything in 2021, pay yourself first, pay the people you owe, and I promise you that's how your business blessings is going to flow.
Man, a year of the flow, man. Oh my goodness. Pay yourself first, man. Bring Miss Jerri B back, man. We're getting in this this phenomenal time that we have here today. I got a couple of questions for both of you guys. Again, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to be here. I know we're all busy, but we're using this thing called the internet to connect, and not just connect to each other, but to connect to the people. And that's what it's about. It's about the PayPal. But let me ask this, and I think we've got a good idea, but I do just want to take a quick moment to say, hey, when it comes to someone coming to you, all right, what is it that you can help people with? All right, what is it that you really can help? I mean, I think it's pretty clear with Miss Besss, but let me come down to Miss Jerri B. What are you able to? Because I know I know you've been able to use. I was like, oh my goodness, I got somebody finally can help. But what do you say, man? Here's where I can help others.
So I noticed when you put the reminder out earlier today that you had me listed as project management. And so let me speak to that area. So with my LLC, Right Start Administrative, I take on these short-term projects, no more than 3 months, usually is where my niche is, because I don't want people to get attached to me, to be quite honest. So I'll stay long. I come in, I set up systems, I get them organized, get the system that will work, and I will train. If they have someone they want to bring in, I'll help them interview, I'll screen, I will train for someone who can work with them long term. And so I have, through Right Start, I offer the human resources and the interviewing and event coordination and management. So, the first time we crossed paths, Evan, was me managing the Kwanzaa Festival, Ujama Fest, which over the past 10, 15 years has grown. And I think the year you participated, I was managing over 40 vendors, along with coordinating the facility that we were in, because we were at the City Hall, the Atlanta City Hall that year. And so doing all of that logistics work behind the scenes and everything. So through project management, it looks different with everybody's project, and it covers a lot. But that's something that I flow in. And so even when just like when you had posted last year about the marketplace, I can already, my wheels are already churning. Usually when I step into an event or I am hearing someone talk about something, my wheels are already churning about logistics and wanting to ask what systems do they have set up and that type of thing. So that's really where I flow.
Absolutely. And Ms. Besss, same question to you.
Well, basically making your business grow. Now, taxes is how people get connected to me, but my superpower is that I can make businesses grow. Now, I've been 15 years in business. I have successfully made 20 people start up to 7 figures. So I know I have the secret sauce to make millionaires. So the thing about it is those what separates them from probably the other 380 people that are my clients. Some of them, those 20 people listened to everything that I said and they executed it. And the ones that did, we had some that actually said Yvette made me a millionaire, and I'm glad for that. But I took that from where I was in corporate America, where I was a controller of a $20 million budget. I'm like, if I could do this for this company, let me take my services and help some people who really are out here grinding and want to be the next person to change the next generation of because generation wealth is really huge for me, because a lot of times I do not want us to pass on the life of brokenness to the next generation. I don't want us to pass that on. I don't want us to pass broke to the next people. We struggled enough. It's all right if we don't have money, but we don't have the right to have our kids not knowing how to have money. There's too much information out here. So if that's anything I say, when people connect to me, they ask, what type of accountant are you? I'm the everything accountant, because I get into your life. I get into your business. I call you when I talk to you. I'm talking to you the way I talk to you now. I talk to my clients. My husband and my sister also work in my business. They are laughing because when I talk to my clients, sometimes they be like, why you talk to them like that? And I be like, because I'd rather have my foot on their neck than the IRS have their foot on their neck. Which one they want, me or owing the IRS? I figure they would want me. If I can whip them into shape, they always going to be good. So that's what I breathe life into people who probably have not had anyone breathing life into them. And then they're good in business. Then they're good in business.
Absolutely, man. Check out Yvette, IG Yvette Knows Best, LinkedIn, Yvette D Best. And what's this here? This free tax chat, bit.ly.
Okay. Yes. Since I is the bit.ly, it's increased bottom line. It's a 10-minute tax chat that almost anybody who wants to talk to me about taxes, because sometimes they would just be calling and getting a number and calling me all willy-nilly. So I just made a tax chat. You could get on the phone. We could talk about your tax issue. I can see what I could do to help it. But it's also a screening process, because everybody is not my client. Just because you want to be my client doesn't mean I'm going to take you. I got a choice. I choose my client. Yeah, I choose my clients. I don't take everybody. So
yes, queen.
I don't take everybody. So I do have that as a screening process. And I'll tell you, if I can't help you, I will have a recommendation for you.
Absolutely, man. Again, guys, let's here in the chat, man. Let us know your thoughts about our show here today. Also, put in the comments below your adoration, your honor, your words of praise and encouragement and empowerment for the Black woman. Go ahead and do that in the comments below. And my last thing for you, Miss Jerri B, how'd you enjoy the show? Tell us about your experience here tonight, New Black Wall Street and Black Woman Wednesday.
It's always amazing. Evan, you are really good with your prompts and the questions that you ask to get us talking and everything. Of course, watching the comments, I chimed in a couple of times. I know I was chimed in last week, and sometime in January, I chimed in. So I have my notification set when Evan goes live anytime. And so when I can tap in, I do. So I mean, I love it. I love it. And when you talk about being a real connector, this is just evidence of, you really living out your purpose. So appreciate it always for being able to come on and chat with you.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Ms. Besss. Your experience tonight, New Black Wall Street and Black Woman Wednesday.
Evan, you know that I love you. You know I love you because the fact that you are big on generational wealth, the fact that you still help people even though they sometimes don't want to accept help, the fact that you are in their face with it, because I'm in their face with it. I love that about you. Sometimes even I said with us, we want it for them more than they want it for themselves. And sometimes that can leave you sometimes so frustrated, but it's okay because we still will help you. Even when sometimes you may not even deserve our help, we still are willing to help you. And I see you. Yeah, Evan, Evan will get on you now. Don't he'll get all in your business and tell you, well, this is why you don't have nothing, because you don't listen to what I tell you to do. And that's okay, because sometimes you need to hear that to get yourself together. And that's what like. Some people have problems with Evan, the way that he talks and but the only people who have problems with it is people who stuff not together. Because I don't see no problem with anything that he posting, except for one thing, but we'll talk about that another time. Like most of the time, every time, 99.9999999% of the time, everything Evan posts is on point. It's to make you think, it's to make you act, it's to make you be involved. Especially this whole thing about investing, because we have people out here who saying they teaching people how to invest, but they taking their money and ain't teaching them nothing. And Evan is out here giving the whole investment game almost for basically free. And then people are like still wondering because, and the thing about it is, that's why I said sometimes people don't even value free. You giving you something to encourage you and help your life be better. And you still over there talking about, oh, I don't know. So Evan, Just keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you. If nobody else tell you that they appreciate you, I appreciate everything you do for us as a people, because you were doing it before it was a fashion. You was when I came here, Evan Jefferson was the only person out here that said we need to buy black, be black, all day, pro black women, pro black men. He was the only voice. Now you have all these other people in here, but for me, you were number one.
I appreciate it, man. That's what we do here. New Black Wall Street, Black Women Wednesday. I appreciate you guys. Catch up with these comments. We'll close this thing out. Chelsea McDowell said, absolutely phenomenal women, man. I told you I'm connected to some dope people, man. Hey, so proud of you, awesome ladies from Miss Glenda Tate Woods. BWW Black Women Wednesday is off the chain. Miss Rosier, OMG. I'm so thankful, honored to be a member of BBC and be Black Women Wednesday. Life empowering. Miss Vivian Reed, man. Yes, indeed. True. Yes, this is all love, though. Yes, they are doing a phenomenal job from Miss Gardner. Evidence inspiration. We love her. Appreciate you too as well. Hey, yeah, love you absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys, man. This is New Black Wall Street and Black Women Wednesday, and we want you guys to remember this: that it takes a village, as you see on the screen, and it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We got, beautiful people, and as you see inside the village, we all we really need, and thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of the new Black Wall Street. The new Black Wall Street.